Have you ever wondered what it would be like to play on more than one account at the same time? Some of you probably already do, but today we're going to be playing on 10. I want to see how effective I can be on 10 accounts doing one method of making money all at the same time. Is it even worth it? Is it even possible? Let's find out. The setup is quite simple. The first monitor contains 6 clients on the entire screen. The second monitor has the remaining 4 plus my OBS so I can record, and this is both of them combined. And of course I do have one scene recording a singular client, so you don't have to watch this the entire time and have an eye strain. Now these accounts didn't come here by themselves. They had to come off Tutorial Island, which, let's just say, was an absolute nightmare. So after muting the sound on each client, we're finally logged in and we're ready to set a name for each of the accounts so we can do Tutorial Island on 10 accounts at the same time. I've never done this before. Let's see how it goes, and let's see how long it actually takes. The accounts will be named 10 Too Many, 1 through 10 at the end of the name, and we're just going to leave the outfits as the default character. This is going to take a while. So what I ended up doing was completing one step on each account at the same time. After I got past that step on all the accounts, move on to the next. If I can just find the stack of my account. Yeah, let's get them through this door. So in case you guys were ever planning to run 10 accounts at the same time, make sure you light the fires in different spots. As you guys can see, I was running into problems where I literally filled up too much space to light a fire. The army has made it to the chef. This room has so many steps. You gotta do like so many things. 10, now for the combat guide. This is the first semblance of the army. We finally beat the combat room. You guys don't understand how hard it was to find different rats on each account because there's so little in the cage. I can't believe we made it this far, but we are at the wizard, the last step. You can see some of my accounts actually running in as I'm clicking on the other screens. Got the first account off Tutorial Island. It's been over 30 minutes. I think I'm actually making good time. Look at all these free-to-play warriors coming up to the pack. They're like, what is going on? This guy's having a freaking laugh. Noobs, lol. So now that we have the 10 accounts, I've had a bit of experience with playing 10 accounts at the same time. We are now ready to attempt to make money on all 10 of them at the same time. Now, since I've never played on 10 accounts at the same time, I wanted to do something that was fairly easy and also free to play, since I wouldn't have to actually bond the accounts. And since it is an experiment, I don't want to drop 43 mil worth in bonds, but if this actually works out, we could do some membership methods. I just need to know if you guys like it. Should I make more of these? Let me know in the comments. Since we are sticking to free to play, I needed something that was actually doable on all 10 accounts that would be worth it, and that's going to be filling jugs with water. This method of money making in free to play requires absolutely nothing except for empty jugs, and it is very effective in the PvP world as you are right beside a fountain and there's a bank in Lumbridge. First things first, I'm gonna have to load an equal amount of empty jugs on each account from one of my accounts so that I can actually start doing the method of making money on each account. So I brought 30,000 jugs that I bought for 2 GP each on the Grand Exchange from my Void Ranger and gave 3,000 of them to each account. Once that was finally done, the accounts were pretty much ready to go. Alright, we are now in the free-to-play PvP world. All that's left to do is pretty much take all these accounts to the bank chest, throw everything in the bank, start taking out these jugs, and filling them with water on 10 accounts at the same time. All of the accounts are in position. They're all ready to fill jugs with water at the fountain. Now we just gotta see how many jugs we can do on each account. On average, if you were doing this on one account at pretty much max efficiency, you could get through around 3.3 thousand. My personal goal is to get at least over 2,000 done on each account, which means we would fill 20,000 in the hour, which is still pretty good. So with all that said, we're now ready. Let's get the timer out. This is going to be filling jugs of water on 10 accounts at the same time for exactly 1 hour. This is going to be some intense clicking, so yeah, let's see if we can survive it. The timer has been started. We're about to go full try hard on 10 accounts at the same time. Let's see how many jugs we can get done. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. I just stopped the timer because I just realized I could make this much easier if I change the way my bank is laid out, because currently this is a struggle. By putting placeholders in the banks of the account, I can move the jugs closer to the inventory button at the bank, making the banking much quicker. I've also made it so that escape on my keyboard closes all interfaces so that I can quickly bank and just start filling jugs again, and escape closing the bank interface, making this much easier. I don't have to click the X every single time. My hand is legit dead. We will now resume operations. No more stopping. 55 minutes of going hard. All of the accounts have been properly set up now. Let's go. Alright, this is the 15-minute checkup on the first client here. We're at 700 jugs of water. That is actually way better than I thought. It's only been 15 minutes, which means that we have 7,000 of these done, which is already double what you would have done in 1 hour on one account. So far, it's looking pretty spicy. My hand's kind of dying, but we can do this. Now, since the jugs do fill rather quickly, the first screen does just sit at the fountain with full jugs for quite a while, but it's still running pretty smoothly and way better than I thought. Again, just to give you guys a full screen representation with both monitors combined of what is going on right here. This is going to be the 30-minute check-in here. Well, it's 31 minutes, but yeah. We're coming back to the first screen right here. How many do we have in the bank? 1.2k, 1.3k now. We're getting really good at this, guys. It's actually kind of scary. I haven't recorded an instance of it, but it happened again. Look at this guy. LOL bots in the chat. People are looking at all these accounts running back and forth, and I'm just getting called out for botting left and right. This is a highly botted activity, as it is such a simple thing to do, but I think Jagex has actually gotten rid of a lot of them. If you look back at my bond in one sitting video, there were an insane amount of bots. If you right click, looks kind of fishy, I won't lie, but we are doing it all by hand and on video, so hope these accounts don't get banned. I don't even know what to say right now. 1 minute left. It has felt like I've been playing for 10 hours. This has felt like 10 hours because there's just so much clicking involved. You have to pay so much attention because you don't want to fall behind on any of the accounts, but look at that. 2.7 thousand jugs on this account alone. The result is going to be insane, I think. Alright, the hour is now up of filling jugs on all 10 accounts. We're going to go into the bank. I'm going to average out how many jugs I filled on each account after, of course, I bank all of them. And we're going to see how much money we made. We just broke free to play. Let's see what the profit was. This account, which should have the most because I was always coming back to it when I started the rhythm of, switching between all the screens. 2.8 thousand 32 jugs of water. If we take a look at all the other screens, we can see we have, well, you can't really see, but there we go. So roughly around the same 2.6, 2.7. We're going to average out all of these and we're going to see what it comes to. All right, so the total amount of jugs filled between all of the accounts was 26,945 jugs, averaging 2,695 jugs per account. Again, if you were doing this efficiently on just one account, you would land yourself around 3.3 to 3.5 thousand jugs filled. So for having this many on average for 10 accounts is actually pretty good. Every time you fill a jug, you make roughly 9 GP, so we made around 250k on all the accounts. 250k per hour on free-to-play, pretty good. Obviously, it's not going to be the best because this is such an easy moneymaker, but I think it was a good start for playing 10 accounts at the same time. After about a couple of minutes of trying to trade all the jugs to one account to pretty much go sell them on the Grand Exchange to show you the profit, I realized that you actually need 7 quest points or a specific amount of playtime to actually trade the item. All I really cared about though was the theoretical profit if I was to sell them, plus I could just drop them all to one account, so it's not really a big deal. In conclusion, the mission or the challenge has been completed We played on 10 accounts, did one money making method. We pretty much broke free to play. If you guys want to see more of this, let me know. What do you guys want to see me do on 10 accounts? I will train them if need be. Imagine how much we could make with different money making methods. If you guys like what you saw, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, don't really have much more to say. Well, after editing the video, I took a look. Bowls of water would have made me 4.5 times the profit.